I'm one of the folks on the council who believes I'd rather not have as many prosecutors that we have, and I'm at least taking the position from what I'm hearing from you, that's not a concern of yours.
Not after this candidate.
Well, let's say in general, do you think we have too many prosecutors on the court?
I can't offer an opinion on that. I don't really keep track of everybody.
Could you, is there ever a situation, I'm just trying to get a sense, I know you're not the nominee. Is there a sense, if 80%, is there any number that you think, yeah, we have too many prosecutors, or we have too many defense attorneys? If we have 90% prosecutors, that to me is not a balance, that's too many. There's gotta be some number. If we had 95% judges who only did personal injury on the plaintiff's side, that's too many. But hearing what you said, she's a lawyer, we're all lawyers, you're not too concerned with those numbers.
No, because you look also at the individual counsel.
Yeah, no,
You
we
know,
don't.
I mean, that's the assessment, is each person who comes before you.
I
as
get
a
it, with
nominee.
all due respect, like I said, look at the Supreme Court. These are all people there that probably went to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, really all geniuses. But you know how they're gonna vote. You know how Elena Kagan's gonna vote. We all do. Everyone in this room.
In my experience, and mine is, I've never been to the Supreme Court.
I haven't either. But there's judges, we know today that what's gonna happen.
I'm here, my practice day to day is here in Massachusetts, it's in the district in Superior Court. I'm in front of judges as are yourself and today, other members, on a regular basis. You know, we don't always choose who we get to be in front of, we don't forum shop, we're not supposed to. But, you know, we all hope to find someone that we think is helpful. And then sometimes we're surprised.
I'm gonna help you out here a little. I'm actually doing you a favor. We're not supposed to forum shop. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Well, they're all looking at me. The last five,
That's not supposed to.
no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
The last 5 SJC nominees who came before us. Ready? The last 5, so this is good, you'll hear the answer. If an attorney doesn't judge shop, he could be held for malpractice. Every attorney, the last 5, no one will dispute this. The last 5 SJC nominees who came before this court, before this body, a lawyer should forum shop. A lawyer should judge shop. If he doesn't, it's malpractice.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think as I understood it, we don't. And
Well, those are 5 SJC nominees, and if someone else doesn't ask you, I'm gonna ask you that question too. The last 5, not like the last one, the last 5 that came before us. So, I will ask you that.
You know, one of the things I'm beginning is many lawyers here today, I'm sure we've all experienced it, where you're going into trial, where you are in the district court and you hear who the judge is that day, you say, oh, they're pretty fair. And then you walk in the courtroom, they didn't do the work that day. And someone else did, and you say, oh my God. But you're there and you try your case. And that's what we do, we try our cases.
No, I got it, you try your cases, but I'll just speak for myself instead of the other lawyers. It makes a huge difference. I've been doing it a long time, who the judge is.
Yeah.
The first thing I asked one of my lawyers, who was the judge? It's all the judge, because like I said, back to the Supreme Court, 5-4 decisions, you know how they're gonna vote. You know how these judges are gonna do. You're gonna summary judge in front of this judge, forget it, depending on what side you are. I think a lot of us know. I get the theory that you're saying, but I don't think in reality it happens the way you believe, at least in my opinion. I think I can tell you, I'd love to go in front of this judge. I dread going in front of that judge. And they all think they're doing the right thing. But that's why we have 5-4 decisions all the time. They all think they're doing the right thing. But this judge thinks more like I do. This judge thinks more like someone else. But anyway, I appreciate you coming here and looking forward to asking you that question.
I'm sorry, I hope you'll find a way to vote in favor of it. I think I don't think you'll regret it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to say another
You
comment?
don't have to hot seat. So on that issue, how long you been practicing now?
I think it's 30, 50 years.
you would agree with me that there are roughly a small percentage of judges sitting in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who are the meanest, cruelest, dumbest people we have ever met.
What percentage, man?
Small.
Fair enough.
Okay. So why would you ever, if you could prevent it, from bringing your client before somebody with those attributes? There are judges in this Commonwealth, unfortunately, a small percentage, who have never, ever, ever said the word accurate. So I get it when you're up for trial, you go into that trial session, and one of those kind of people are sitting there, you are not jury waiving that case and going to a trial.
Absolutely.
So that's why you don't give up that, it's so crucial not to give up that right before that day of trial.
Absolutely.
But there are still judges making defendants through counsel give up that right at pre-trial conference when they decide whether they're going to go jury or jury waive, and even judges who take the colloquy from the defendant at that time. And also those 5 Supreme Judicial Court judges said that giving up that right before you knew who was sitting would be ineffective assistance of counsel. So I know when you get to the trial, you stop, especially if you get the first one out. But preserving your right to say, bring a jury.
I think I think every lawyer should preserve that right. You preserve it right up until that last moment. You can choose jury way. My practice is generally, I want to go to trial. I like jury. I think that's the purest part of our system.
Well,
And that's the comfort balance
I
to
do,
some extent.
and I may be wrong in this, but I do every single thing I can do on earth in a courtroom to stay away from judges who I've just described. That are mean, petty. Not for me. I'm not getting a piece of my eye. But they're mean to the citizens of this country.
And that's why this individual today, I think, is an excellent nominee. Is that, I don't think we'll see, that's one of the most common things about her. There are many bright, intelligent attorneys, but it's the other component. Yeah. That component that they treat everybody fairly, they treat litigants fair, that they feel has been treated appropriately. She has those skills. That's the difference. That's the difference in my mind. That's why I'm here today, speaking on her behalf. She will not be one of those 5% judges that need, that's not the person she is. And I think they will find that already.
I dealt with her in the courtroom, and I had never seen any of that character. I hope that road doesn't change.
I don't think it will. I'm sure it
I'll
will.
ask her.
I'm sure it will be nice.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Chair.
Jim Gallagher, it's been a while since you've been here, and I have to say,
Oh, something.
that Councilman Miller and I have the honor to vote for your legal partner, Mary, and she has been outstanding, you get wonderful things about her. Is that the last time that you came?
I believe it, I think it was.
Yeah, so it was one.
Yeah, in a while.
So your testimony means a lot to me. If you could use one adjective to describe Attorney what she will bring to the bench, what would it be?
I don't think one adjective, she'll bring so much to the
Well,
bench. She's, and I don't know if it's an adjective, she's hearing, she's respectful. It's her temperament, that she'll bring to the bench. She'll, litigants, when you come away, when you watch her in a trial, you see that even in the most difficult circumstance, she treats everyone fairly. As I mentioned, that murder trial we had, 10 cases are tough, and this was a rough case, and you had families angry and upset. We had that even keel the way through. Even when sometimes people are really being difficult, didn't show any anger, didn't change whatever, even if she felt it, she didn't show. She kept it in. She didn't change dispositions. If you gave her a word on something in the case or aspect, she stayed with it. She stayed with it. So I think it's not one adjective, it's also a fact. It's a one fact.
So how long have you known this nominee?
Uh,
How long have you known this nominee?
Going on 10 years.
So you really know?
Yes.
Because it's important to me, because we've had people sitting in your chair as a witness, and I've asked, how many times have you seen this person in court? Once. That's not knowing the person to even come and testify, so that testimony doesn't mean much to me, but yours does, and I know your reputation, and I know you only came once, so it's not like you're a regular. Yeah, but thank you for coming, because your testimony means a lot to us.
Thank you.
Oh, sure.
I just want to say, when you were talking about those judges we avoid, they're not this woman. Let's be clear about that.
Any other comments?
We'll look forward to seeing you the next time.
And then we have Karen Pond, is the witness. Welcome.
Morning. I appreciate this opportunity to speak in wholehearted support of Captain Hunt's confirmation. I know Cat for 18 years and a friend and fellow elder on the building board of the church. Three personal attributes of Cat's make her stand up candidates for this position. First, she is fearless. On countless occasions, I've witnessed her speak out boldness when the circumstances warranted, without worrying about her reactions to herself. Kat's courage would be an asset to her role as a judge, making difficult decisions when needed to effect justice. Second, she cuts to the heart of the matter. During board meetings, she would distill a lengthy conversation or discussion to its essence, and I think her common sense approach to working through complicated issues would make her an efficient manager of any caseload. Third, her high level of empathy would allow her to be impartial as a judge. I especially admire her genuine desire to understand where a viewpoint that she disagrees with or differs with her own. And I think it has to her as well. I've known Kat, as I said, for 18 years. I consider her to be one of my most trustworthy friends. She exhibits humility and a willingness to be vulnerable that distinguishes her from others. She's active in her children's school and she cares deeply about her community. I have great confidence that she would be just add great value to the Massachusetts judiciary, and I know that she would approach a judicial appointment as a high calling with dedication and fierce commitment to justice. Thank you.
Thank you, your testimony was heartfelt. Counselor?
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. I want to give you a hypothetical. Supposing she is a member of a 10-member board. It's a very continuous issue. 9 of the 10 are voting one way, but she believes. Would she get the courage to vote no?
Initially, yes. She is a woman.
Wait a minute, now that may not be a good thing. She would have that courage
I believe so.
to be on this board. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Any other questions from counselors? Thank you very much. I really appreciate your testimony. So that concludes your witness list. Is there anyone here that is not on the list that would like to speak on behalf of this nominee?
There was a long line outside. Check.
Having heard that, then, is there anyone in opposition? Now is your chance. Or
son, Felix, who's 11. My husband, Paul Hahn. My good friend, Sarah Kim. My good friend, Christina. My good friends, Sue Connor, Mark Lee, and Craig Iannini. My good friends, Nick Brandt, Judge Shelby Smith, Judge Sharon Donatelli, Julian Lindell, Lynn Weidman, her from Diana, Amy Martin, Laura Montgomery, my good friend Vicky, her from John Galvin, Dave McGowan, Susan Gray, and Alice Marr. I'm so lucky to be supported.
That's great, quite true. So now it's your turn for your presentation.
Should I stand? I feel more
No,
comfortable.
sit, because
Very quick.
I'm gonna stand just because
you're resting.
Yes. I think I'm used to just opening and closing it. So thank you, first of all, and good morning. Thank you to all the governor counselors, present and non-present. Thank you for considering me to be the Associate Justice of the Boston Municipal Court. Thank you to the governor, Lieutenant Governor, for my nomination, and Lauren Green, who is here in and out, and Emily Gauthier, Chief Legal Counsel of Ross. I am so grateful and thankful to be here in Concord. My family and I moved to America when I was 10 years old from South Korea. I only knew the alphabet and one key phrase, and this is exactly how I said it. Hello, how are you? That was the intonation I had to use. My parents flipped through an American English book, name book, and stopped at C and named me Catherine. And just like that, the name that I'd only known for 10 years, my name, Toya, just became my middle initial. My older brother and my older sister and I enrolled in school in Crestville, New Jersey. And my first few months that we were in America, it snowed magnificently. I've never seen anything like it before. And my schoolmates saw a pile of snow, and they pointed to it, and they asked me if I knew what it was called. And with conviction, I knew what it was called, and I was so proud to say it. So I loudly pronounced, nose! And I immediately did not know that it was wrong. It was actually embarrassingly weeks after. And upon that realization that I had gotten it wrong, and I had made that mistake, my serious, young, 10-year-old self made a promise to myself. And I made a promise to myself that I was going to work so hard that I won't fall behind. It was an insurmountable amount that I need to keep up to. But nobody else was going to have my drive. And that was a promise that I made to myself as a 10-year-old. And that immigrant drive that I had is still what makes me tick. It's what keeps me going to be the best version of myself. My parents struggled to find a job for a long time. We moved to different states and went to different schools. And my parents landed on their feet to open up a dry cleaner store in South New Jersey. A Korean immigrant family opened up a little tiny dry cleaner store called Dutch Cleaners. And it was a name that had been previously done with business, and my parents dared not change that name. Every day from Monday to Saturday, my parents went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning and came home at 9 p.m. Every day they came home, I asked my parents how much money we made. As a young kid, I knew the value of $1. Because when you take on 10 men's shirts and you tag it, you clean it, you press it, you hang it, and you finally give it to a customer, it was merely $4. My parents worked tirelessly at Dutch Cleaners. And we, the children, begrudgingly worked on weekends and summer days, and it was hot in there. There was no air conditioning, and we sweated. My parents worked 28 years at that dry cleaner store, counting every cent to put us through school. many times when they worked hard, they would tell us, we work hard so you can become better than us. And I never told them then, and I'm actually telling them for the first time. It sounds like not a good idea because I'm emotional anyway. But I'm telling them for the first time that no matter what I do, no matter who I become, I don't think I could ever become better than my parents. The sweating and the physical labor was a given. But as a young kid, seeing my parents face discrimination and disrespect was really what broke my heart as a kid. Because at that young age, I saw for the first time firsthand what racial discrimination was, socioeconomic disparity was, and just plain old being wronged without having a voice to advocate for oneself. And that's where I believe that my innate skills and my desire to be a judge was birthed. Because at that young age, I knew what was right and wrong. I knew what was fair and unfair and reasonable and unreasonable. As an 8th grader, starting around 8th grade, I used to accompany my parents to small claims court when there was a dispute about clothing damages. And I used to go there to translate for my parents. And as soon as we stepped in, I knew, we do not belong here. We have no chance. We were strangers, and we were often treated with disrespect, disdain, and condescension. If fortunate enough to be confirmed, I will be that judge who treats everyone fairly and with equal respect. The courtroom that used to be so unfamiliar and strange to me has been my daily office as a homicide prosecutor in the district attorney's office. And I am so proud of my work, and I'm not proud of the guilty verdicts or any cases that receive media attention. I'm proud of the things that I've done with Diana, giving voices to victims. I'm proud of cases I actually had to dismiss and no cross, despite what everyone wants you to do, because I strongly hold true to the facts of the cases. My 3 children, Felix, who's 11, who's here before us, who's soon going to outweigh me by the end of the summer. My middle child, Axel, who's 8, and my youngest, who's smart and funny, Gemma, who's 5. All 3 of them know that when mommy's on trial, you can expect mommy to go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning and work all weekend. And at such a young age, they understand what the word sacrifice means. They know that they can expect to not see their mother because there is another family that needs her more than they do. My children hurt when others hurt. My children feel pain when others feel pain. And my husband and I feel so lucky and are so proud to raise such empathetic, kind souls. My husband, everyone knows here, is much better half of the Ham couple. I try not to bring him around because they always fall in love with him and not with me. He is my support and everything that's good in my life, and I would not be here without him. As an awkward 8th grader, sitting in court with my parents, or even as a young lawyer starting out in my legal career, I never, ever fathomed that I would be here. I never, ever fathomed that I'd be a judge, or I could be a judge. The path has been long. I've been faced with a lot of stereotypes and barriers against me. But if I can inspire a young kid who's sitting in court, waiting with her parents, or if I can inspire lawyers, young lawyers, parties, plaintiffs, defendants, witnesses, anyone in court, that aspirations that feel so far-fetched, beyond reachable moments, can actually be attained and achieved, I think I've done my part. I am so proud, and I've worked hard to be here, and I'm proud of my achievements. But most importantly, I'm utterly humbled. I'm humbled to be here. I'm humbled to be supported by everyone, and the support that I received throughout this process. Thank you for your time, and I welcome all your questions.
Thank you. Being the chair presiding, I usually speak last, but I do want to say this. I really regret that Council Kennedy, Council Jim and Bill heard your testimony. And I've been here 20 years, no one has stood. So that is amazing because it was from your heart. And I just want to disclose, you made me cry, first of all, but I can identify with you because I know prejudice, and my parents were caregivers at different times. They had children, and there was no anti-discrimination laws, and they would go to parents' work when my dad was in the town. He had to give up his language, his culture, he said he wasn't Italian. He changed his name. Years. I was first in that's my name. Always bothered me when I went to the cemetery to see that stone because I had no relatives. And so I surprised my Irish American husband and I took him to the Irish wife. And it's an extra work. He has a book shop. He had to do that. And I would love to get that money back. Where would you take it? And I didn't know what to do. I went to Cambridge Court, and I filled out this form. They called me 2 months later. I talked to the judge, and I'm proud to be the no hyphen. My children, I want Chino back. That's this bill. He signed the paper. He paid $90 a window. I have another parking lot. It's just so I see, I know, and my mother's brother, and the Gucci, wanted to get my, so he called me. He wasn't allowed, he was on civil service. And he was told to never be fishing with so I know, and I can imagine the works for the Asian community. But I do want to tell you, I appreciate your comment about you mispronouncing snow. I can remember my mother, Malva DeDucci, and she was about 6 years old, and she was playing in the park. And there were boys in the other part of the park, and the ball, they hit the ball, it was coming towards my mother, and they were all yelling, look out. And my mother said, there's no window, so look out. So I understand. I can really identify with that. And so I do want to say right off the bat in public, I have been here 20 years, and I can count on one hand the Asians that have come before me, and we've got a lot of qualified Asians up there. So I hope the government gets a message with your presentation for your great here today. And I usually don't, talk like this before we even have spoken or voted. I'm here for the and everything you do with this is that at the end of the day, the compassion is there. And how wonderful for 2 judges to come. Respecting that for people to come going on. So I usually don't talk too much now. So I'm going to open it up to the council. Councilor Randall.
Thank you very much. To you, your parents, your husband, your kids. I've actually been here 34 years. What an amazing, amazing presentation. Unbelievable. You should be so, so proud. There's not many people who sat in that chair did a better job than you. What a story. Your whole life. I mean, everyone over there, your kids, they should be so, so proud of you. And when I heard you speaking, I remember my family story. My father came to America when he was 8 years old. He came from Italy, couldn't speak a word of English. And real quickly, he worked really, really hard, ended up going to Boston College, Harvard Law School, and he was in public service for over 40 years. He died in 1992. But when you were speaking, I was thinking of when I grew up. It wasn't easy. I lived in an Irish neighborhood. I'm so impressed. I mean, usually I ask a lot of questions. I just wish, you didn't need any witnesses. I'm sure they were all great. I mean, no, it was really heartfelt. I could see it. So happy everyone's here. I mean, you could have prepared that 20 times. You couldn't have done a better job than that. And I really mean it. I'm just going to ask you 2 questions. Well, I already asked the first question, so I said I was going to ask you. I think there can be a situation where we have too many defense attorneys, on the bench, or too many prosecutors on the bench. I'm someone, whether it's the bench, the parole board, 2 weeks ago, I thought we had too many, we didn't have enough social science people with backgrounds on the parole board. So I'm someone who I like balance. And you already have my vote. You're going to be a superstar. But do you agree with me or disagree that too much of one group, prosecutors, defense attorneys, plaintiffs' attorneys, could be too much?
I think there has to be a balance, and there is a balance. I think that when we first see a judge for the first time, we always ask, where's he from? Where's she from? And if he's a lifer public defense attorney, you have a presumption of what you think is going to happen. But they surprise you all the time, just as much a prosecutor background as well. But there has to be a balance. I think there has to be a balance, and in my experience, there is a balance.
And this is a softball. Your opinion on Judge Shopping. You heard, he gave the answer. What's your opinion on Judge Shopping?
I think that it is in fact malpractice to not know what the judge is going to be like, their background. It's almost not doing your background check with knowing the facts of the case. I think that it's their right to ask for a bench trial or a jury trial, to change their mind, just like John Galvin said. You can change your mind right before the jury comes and gets sworn.
But I'm even saying, like, if you find a motion, Judge so-and-so is there this month, or well, in this session, you know what, you better file it a little, maybe 2 weeks later to make sure at least who you perceive to be someone different, to file a motion maybe a different time. Obviously, you can't lie to the court, but if possible, you'd like to go in front of the judge who you think is more favorable to your client.
As a zealous advocate, that's what you have to do.
Thank you. One thing a lot of us ask here is the question about continuances. There's a lot of lawyers in this room, Kennedy, Juvenville, we have others, who are really busy. And it's a stickler with us. I mean, Kenny and I talked about certain judges. Continuances, okay? Do you have a problem with continuances? I'll give you a couple of different scenarios. Someone comes in, because you're on the other side, but for defense attorney, sometimes our chief witness, Mr. Green, he's the one who's got the money, hasn't paid. So these guys who do defense work, they may want the case continued, okay? Do you have a problem with continuing the case, let's say, the first time?
No. As an officer of the court, if you tell me that you're not ready, it may be because of factual reasons or because of, you said about money, that I would never ask about and
Sure.
you would never even know about.
Right.
So I would not have a problem with continuances. I think that I am one of the prosecutors who actually stand in for attorneys if you're going to be late or if you're not going to be here. I say, I'll file something for you. I'll stand in for you because I know you have to be in courts different times and I'm here. So I'm one of those prosecutors.
Okay, now it's the second continuances. Now, there's a lot of lawyers, if you need a continuance or if you're not ready, you can ask one of the folks in the DA's office. But it's not a sole practitioner, it's only he or she. So now it's a second continuance. Hey, I gotta be in Malden Court. You're in Dorchester. You're gonna give them the continuance?
I don't have a number where I won't give a continuance,
Well,
and
I've
they give a good reason as to the asking.
I
So,
remember
no.
my good friend Terry Kennedy here. We're asking this nominee, and he said to her, "Why do you care? Even if it's the fifth or sixth, why do you care?" I'm gonna use his question. Like, as long as it's a reason, like, why do you care?
The only times that I would care, or when I was a prosecutor, I would care is if it's a sexual assault victim who has to be prepared and come to court every single time, or if there's a witness that we would have to pay for. Those are the times. I know prosecutors. I'm here. I can try a case anytime, but it's a preparation for witnesses that we have to bring up. If it's police officers only, I don't care because they get paid. Because they can come and need summonses. But times that I do care, and I think that judges should care and weigh, is when there are victims on the cases, witnesses who have to be here, who've flown in. Those are the times. But I really respect the attorneys. If they tell me under oath and as an officer of the court they need a continuance and they have a good reason, I have no reason to not give it to them.
I understand the situations you're talking about. Those are mostly in criminal cases.
Yes.
But let's assume you handle a personal injury, so it doesn't have that
Right.
component. And someone says, "Yeah, well, I have a social security case in Texas. I can't make it." Okay? And wow, this is the fourth continuance. Judge, I'm sorry. Here's the notice. It's federal. We're talking the federal government here. I got a social security disability case in Dallas, Texas. So fourth continuance. You okay with that? It's legitimate. Is the notice from Texas?
I won't even need the notice. If you tell me, I won't ask for approval, because you're an officer of the court. You can't split yourself into half and go to two different states. So, of course I would do that.
I like that answer. I'll tell the folks here. We had a judge, a nominee, in front of us, within the last 2 months. I won't tell you who it is, but I asked the person on this continuance. And I said, well, let's assume you have a case, whatever, we'll say now, July 20th. And it's been on for the third or fourth time. 2 days before the hearing, your husband comes to you and says, "Oh, I got a surprise. It's our 25th wedding anniversary." Now, that's a true story. I'm taking you to Bermuda on whatever, Friday. I said, would you grant that continuance? Come on, we all know what we do, right? Well, the husband should have known her schedule. And I wouldn't grant it. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's crazy. I assume you agree.
I've never had a husband surprise
Chance.
I never know her schedule. She knows that.
But it's a personal reason I would never not, I would never.
I don't have any further questions. Brian Calmucci called me. He's a great guy. Let me tell you, like I said, you're sitting there, you must be so proud of her. You told her husband, I mean, this is a superstar. I don't say that every week. This is not something I say every week. I think you're going to be great. You're compassionate. You're fair. You're going to be a great addition to the court. And I'm looking forward to finding out, months and years later, hey, how was that Judge Ham? I think it's going to be great. And I'll be more than happy to support you next week.
Thank you. I usually go by district and two.
So, before we start making the statute, so what do you think our job here is?
To vet out candidates, to vote on whether or not they would be a fit judge, and to not vote if they're not.
Looks like a job.
Dress up like
I have no problem with. But when we went to the JNC, so at a job interview, you're here to make your decision. side, I don't think you can ever do that. Our forebears and your parents worked very hard. We did a lot. Very large house. Maybe. Yeah, easy. So, we recently had, a judge who was invited. Aside from what he was thinking, what do you think?
What I learned from that is what I've always known is never put everything on record. But I also understand the changing law and the issues of immigration and ICE. I will follow, if fortunate enough to be judged, with the temporary injunction, federal injunction. I agree that just as much as state proceedings cannot impede with federal criminal proceedings, federal proceeding cannot impede with the state either. And I believe that that is exactly what the injunction says. So I will abide by exactly what the injunction statement recently within the last 2 weeks.
Injunction.
Federal district court judge.
Why would you agree?
Well, essentially, there is already a state court policy which indicates that if there is an arrest criminal federal warrant, that they can proceed, but if it's a civil immigration detainer, they cannot hold that proceeding in the state. And the court proceeding going to there and coming out of the court, and that's exactly what I would follow.
The state policy.
Yes.
What do you think effect U.S. attorney indicting the sitting judge has on our system?
It's one case, I don't know if I can personally comment to it because I don't know the facts of the case besides what's been given and what I've read on newspaper. What I do know and how it affects me is how I would hold the court. I don't have an actual personal opinion as to what the U.S. attorney did.
Well, he's indicted a state sitting judge, which I don't believe has ever been done for a civil policy of the federal government. I'm not talking about a judge who committed crimes off the bench or on the bench, accepting bribes or something like that. This was more of a political issue. He indicted a judge. That's in the chain of right down to the state of Massachusetts. Carefully. You have a sense that that might be good?
I know that if I were to sit on the state district court, BMC court, I would proceed exactly how I would prior to indictment, after indictment, which is follow the law and
Well, I know
policy.
what you're saying. I'm talking about the broader picture of indicting a sitting state judge. read a little bit of a letter that was signed by 78 retired veterans. The recent indictment of the city of Massachusetts